Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can protect yourself in life. Okay, so my channel is definitely dedicated to increasing emotional maturity, to lift up vibrations, open people's minds, help reprogram, broaden perspectives, and all types of positive things to help you understand your life and your journey, to help you make better decisions in your life and journey. Okay. So it's very important, and particularly for the masses of people who watch my channel, most of them are survivors of narcissistic abuse, right? And, other than that, it could just be people that just like to seek knowledge, and God bless you for that. And that's a wonderful way to be. But, we have to know how to protect ourselves because as we look back into some of the experiences, particularly those who are survivors of narcissistic abuse, you feel like, you were very vulnerable at those times in your life. And, someone came in and basically attacked you. So what can you do moving forward to help, guard yourself from those types of experiences again? All right. And what can everyone do? Because this is, beyond just for survivors of narcissistic abuse, but particularly I want you guys to hear this because you guys went through a lot in that experience. You feel like the universe screamed at you. And I talk about that in my videos. I'll sprinkle that in, when the universe screams at you, sometimes it's through a harsh experience so that you can really finally get to a point, hopefully, of a very important lesson that you need to be able to go to the next level and graduate in your life. All right. So I came up with a list of 7 things that I highly recommend that you do to help protect yourself in life. And maybe you're doing some of them, maybe you're not doing all of them, or maybe you could be doing a better job in each area or some of the areas, or maybe some of these areas have been neglected. I don't know. You have to think of, where these things fit in your life. This is just one person who has experienced much, who's talked to many people who have experienced much, who's studied psychology in this world, in this universe. And this is my list of 7 things to do. Are they the only things that you should be doing? Is it the end all be all list? No. But if you're able to at least start doing these 7 things, you're definitely going to be on your way. Okay. So let's talk about it. The first thing on my list is to become a free thinker. Become a free thinker. A lot of times, let me just say this first and foremost. The more that you learn in life, the more you understand you don't know. Nobody knows it all. Being stubborn, being full of ego, acting out of your ignorance, that gives you a lot of tough, hard lessons here. So it's really important to, number one, become a free thinker. Because if you think about the experience you had with that narcissist, they were guiding you. You were just taking everything that they told you at face value. Becoming a free thinker basically makes you an individual at that point. Because just because you are an individual person, you are one person, physically separate from another one, it doesn't mean that you are mentally. And, that brings up a whole nother topic of codependency there. But a free thinker is an individual because they don't just take everything at face value. They don't just believe everything that they're told. They actually, they're fact checkers. They are truth seekers, So we're talking about an individual that wants to have an open mind at least. All right. Because closed minds are basically closed to knowledge. And knowledge is power when utilized. I say that all the time. Knowledge is power when utilized. But if you have a closed mind, it's not even open to even hearing a different perspective, to even seeing a different angle, that's stubborn, it's ignorant, it's full of ego. And, it doesn't get you very far in life because nobody knows it all, And it's pretty interesting because once you really do open that third eye and you really start understanding this and that, you'll see how ignorant you used to be and how much you really didn't know even before, as you start to acquire more information, and how much you really don't know, you know? Like, the more intelligent you get, the more that you understand things, you know, the more you understand that you really don't know nothing, you know, in the whole scheme of things. But we can know more in our human minds, in our waking life, and it can serve a beautiful purpose and uplifting us and taking us further. But we have to be willing to at least not be closed-minded and to become a free thinker, to actually be an individual, and find out and seek that truth. And this is going to run into my number 2. Be a lifelong learner. A lifelong learner. All right. And just because you know you don't know it all, there's always something that you can improve on. There's always information that can help take you to another level, to increase you. That is really the goal, is to be increasing and to be evolving in a positive manner. That's the goal, not to be retracting, not to be falling down, not to end up worse than. If you fall down, be willing to take the lessons and get back up, but be a lifelong learner. You should constantly be wanting to expand your mind and be using your brain muscles. Because when you don't use something, it does get weaker. You know, and that's why, you know, here in American society, other countries are leading us in this, and that, because we're using our brain muscles in other areas. So yeah, we're not leading in science and math anymore because we're more concerned with celebrities and social media. You know, we're putting our priorities there, and our brain muscles are getting, as a whole, is getting weaker in other areas. And that's how other countries are dominating us in those areas, because they have different priorities. So, you know, we got to use those brain muscles. All right. And it's true for elderly people who keep their brains active. They're sharper as they get older. So they have better memory, etc. Scientists have studied this stuff. So stay a lifelong learner. Does this mean that you need to stay in college with another major and another major, racking up more and more student loan debts? No. There's many ways to expand your mind. And I'm actually going to be doing a whole book series on 50 books that you should read. All right. Because as a society, we're getting away from reading books, and we really need to be gravitating towards that knowledge. Okay. And nowadays they make it even easier for you to read the books. They have audiobooks and everything, but I do recommend just reading the words. There's something more powerful about actually literally reading the words. Okay. And it helps you retain the information as well, because you're having a greater focus. All right. But I don't want to digress there. So we're going to become a free thinker, which means we're going to be individuals here. We're not going to just believe everything somebody tells us. Hey, you can fact check the stuff I say. You know, I'm not telling you, you know, that goes for me too. So you're going to become a free thinker and an individual, and you're going to become a lifelong learner, because nobody knows it all. You know, nobody knows it all. It's okay to seek wise counsel. It's okay to find something or the information if you don't know enough. Get stronger in it. Study it. All right. So number 3, we're going to become more responsive versus reactive. Become responsive in life rather than reactive. You know, in chemistry, when we mix elements and chemicals together, they just react right away. It does what it does, right? But we need to think, and we need to be more mindful in life. Don't let people rush you to make decisions. You know, sometimes we get hasty, and, you know, that's a reactive person. Narcissists are typically reactive. You know, and they want you to be reactive as well, because they don't want you to have to think and sit back and be like, wait a minute here. They don't want you to really take time to have that critical thinking. Okay. So I want you guys to become more responsive versus reactive, because the response is someone who's actually taking a moment to think before they speak, think before they act. All right. And reactive person is just going off of emotions, and emotions change from moment to moment. That's how we put our foot in our mouths. That's how we do things that we can't take back, make decisions. Sometimes we're being reactive in decisions that really should have taken a lot of thought. And then it puts us in a situation because we didn't take a moment. We let somebody else put our backs to the wall and make us feel like we had to rush in a moment. But if once you become a free thinker and a lifelong learner, you're not going to be putting people on a pedestal to begin with. You're going to be that individual as a free thinker, and you're going to say, hey, I need a moment, or I'll let you know, I'll get back to you. It's on your time and not theirs. So please become responsive versus reactive in life. Okay? All right. So the next one, number 4, we need to increase our listening and observing skills. And I made a whole video about that. All right. So many times, people are quick to talk, when we need to be quick to listen and slow to speak. But too many people are so bent on being heard and proving their point that they're just waiting for their opportunity the whole time, and their listening skills are just even below average. And this is how those red flags they get minimized, or these red flags aren't even caught until hindsight. All right, so you should be wanting, like, you want to talk? Go ahead and talk all day. Yeah, I want to hear this. Because you're taking in the information at that point. So we really need to, increase our listening and observing skills all the way around. And as I pointed out in that video about listening and observing skills, communication is more than just verbal. Take in all the clues of communicating, physical things and verbal things. All right. Because I could say I love you, but if I didn't give you eye contact, if I said it in a different tone, my body language, all these things could help indicate, was this person really sincere when they said it to me? So listening and observing skills, that becomes really important, and it all works together as being a free thinker. I mean, when the media tells you this happened or that happened, listen and observe. What are the events that are going on around it? This is what they said happened. Does that even make sense? Or is this just what they want us to believe? And that's on a broader scale. But in your personal relationships, become a better listener and observer. Okay? See what's going on. Detach from needing to control things, per se. Control the external things around you. And that also may mean that you need to detach from your flesh and your ego so that your agenda isn't overpowering the whole situation to the fact where you have on the rosy colored glasses and you can't even see what's going on because you just want to see what you want to see to begin with. And now your listening and your observing skills are going to skew your point of view because you want it so bad to be this way. And this is what I'm talking about with the control. All right. So we're going to increase our listening and observing skills. Number 5 on my list, guys, is to broaden your perspective. A lot of times I talk here on my channel on tunnel vision, especially when people are talking about depression with me. And I'm like, okay, what we focus on magnifies. If you're focusing on this negative experience that you had and it's just growing in your mind. And every time, and especially when it was a trauma, you're feeling it. You're going to feel that sorrow and that pain every time you revisit the memory and replay it in your mind. And now it's like all you can see. And now it's controlling your day to day. You don't want to get up because this is all that you're consumed with and thinking about. But if we look at the bigger picture, we'll also be able to see the things that are going right in our life as well, and not just the things that went wrong. We'll be able to be in the present instead of just living in the past. So if we're able to broaden our perspective, it gives us a bigger picture of things. All right. And then this means that we can really take that on a whole nother scale. Because if we look at things in a bigger picture, then even our experiences we can look at on a larger scale. You know, then we'll be understanding the circle of life. We'll be understanding universal laws. You know, every action has a reaction. We'll be understanding the dimensions. We'll be understanding at least the basic chakras that we have. We'll be understanding media and media coverage a little better as well, and things that are going on, current events. We'll understand history, and we'll know that it's his story. You know, when we broaden our perspectives of thing, it just, something that used to be so major to us, we'll see how really insignificant and little it was. That's what happens when we start broadening our perspective. Oh my gosh, like I used to not get out of a bed because that one human being didn't want to accept me. When we broaden our perspective, we see how they weren't supposed to accept me anyway. It wasn't a part of my path. They weren't meant to stay on my journey forever. They were just meant to cross my path so that I could take this lesson and be better for the other connections that I am to make in this life. We start understanding these things when we when we broaden our perspectives. Then we're okay with endings, and we know that it means a beginning. Okay, yeah, my time with you has ended, but that meant my time with someone else is beginning, or my time with something else is starting. We'll understand divine timing. We'll have a whole lot of things coming into play when we learn how to broaden our perspectives. But when we stand in our ego, we're limiting our view, right? At that point, we're limiting our perspectives. Okay? So let's learn how to broaden our perspective so that we can see the bigger picture of things that are happening to us and around us and in the world. All right, so number 6 on my list is understanding spirituality. We all have a spirit, guys. And being close to our spirit, taking care of our spiritual aspects, it keeps us closer to our discernment, that little voice inside of us, the communication of the universe to us. That means that we're going to now be in touch with prayer. We're in touch with meditation. We're understanding energy at that point and how to cleanse it and guard it, protect it. We have stress management at that point, as we're close with our spirituality and our spirits. So we have to understand our spirituality, guys. Does that mean being religious? No. It doesn't mean being religious. I mean, that can be an aspect for those who are incorporating that. It doesn't mean being religious, but it could mean having knowledge of religions. It can mean that. And taking from it what you feel is needed for your spirit, and leaving what you don't. But we have to understand our spirituality. All right. So number 7 on my list to round out this video is to become health conscious, guys. We need to understand the human body. It's our vehicle. It's the shell that we are given while we are here on this 3 dimension. All right. And we have to utilize it to get from point A to B, C, D, E, F, G. We need it. So, we need to understand it. How does hydration affect our brain? If we're not drinking enough water, how will that make me? If we're not getting enough rest, if we're not getting enough exercising, if we're not eating foods that actually support good mental health and good heart health and just good for our bodies. You need to understand it. You need to understand these things. How does the body work together? And actually understanding the body and stuff and our muscles and our brains and all of these things, it helps us understand other people too. It's a part of psychology. then you'll understand why that narcissist doesn't have empath. You'll understand the section of their brain that deals with empathy is different from those that have empathy. They have their brain is basically injured in that area, and it's a blockage for them. It's not going to stop. It's a blockage for them. Their brains are different. Scientists have studied psychopaths and sociopaths, hooked them up to things, showed them brutal images. Their brain activity is not the same. It's not the same. So becoming health conscious will make you understand things on that broader perspective as well. And of course, that's a part of being a life learner. Okay, you might say, all right, well, I know that I should be drinking water, but then you find out, oh, wow, I can make super water. And what do I mean by super water? Oh my gosh, I could put a pinch of this pink Himalayan salt in it, and it has all the minerals that the cells in my bodies love, which is equivalent to all of the minerals that's in ocean water. And you're seeing how we're connected to Mother Nature. It's quite interesting. And then you're like, wow, well, I can put a pinch of that pink Himalayan salt in there and have some of that each day. Oh, wow, I can put some cucumbers in there as well. Oh, wow, I can, and the list goes on and on. Oh, wow, I can alkaline my water with this lemon. And wow, this makes my body feel this way. It does this, it does that. Like, you start learning how to even take fundamental information and take it to the next level. Okay, well, fine. I'm cool with drinking water each day. Well, if I'm going to drink it, I'm going to make my water super water. I'm going to do this and that to it. I'm going to add some, like I said, put the lemons in it. I'm going to put a pinch of pink Himalayan salt in it. Oh, you know, I'm going to put that cucumber in there. That really helps for hydration. You know, you learn how to, you could throw some ginger in there. You just learn. You just learn things to help you in life. Even knowing what alkaline mean. What is acidic? What does that mean? How can I test my water? You know, I have the strips. I can test the pH balance of my water. Oh, wow, I didn't know that I should drink water as soon as I get up and before I go to bed. I didn't know that it starts my organs off on a great note to drink water first thing in the morning, room temperature. I didn't know that. You know, you start understanding. Wow, I'm never going to cook with table salt again. There's purer salts that I could use and not man-made. So when you learn and become health conscious, you know, you can make better decisions. Oh, wow, I'm never going to eat white bread again. It's bleached and it's It's just refined sugar. I'm going to do this instead. Oh, wow, I never knew that they dyed eggs. I didn't know that they weren't naturally white. Goodness. Oh, my gosh, I didn't know that they're making fake fruits and lettuces and stuff. You know, you start learning. Oh, my gosh, I've been getting strawberry milkshakes from McDonald's, but there's no strawberries in it or milk. Oh boy, I have about 50 other ingredients to assimilate the taste of it. I'm scratching my head. I'm like, it must be financially cost efficient, but sheesh, they're going out of the way. All right. So it's things that you may not realize. When you become more health conscious, start reading those labels when you're grocery shopping, start understand your own body too. Because we all have different body types. So one person might say, you know what, this works well for me. And someone else might say, this didn't work. But get in tune with your own body. You know, and you'll understand how stress reacts to it and why you need to stay away from that toxic person that much more, guys. All right. So I don't want to keep, going on and on and on in this video, but I wanted to give you those 7 things. All right. So let's go back down that list. We're going to become free thinkers. We're going to be individuals. We're going to be, number 2, lifelong learners. We're going to, number 3, become responsive versus reactive. We're going to, number 4, become better listeners and observers. Number 5, we're going to broaden our perspectives and see the bigger pictures of things. Number 6, we're going to understand our spirituality and be connected to our spirits. And number 7, we're going to become more health conscious and understand the human body, our flesh. Yeah, we need to understand it. so that we can treat it better and get the most out of it. Okay, guys, so I hope that this is helping you guys on how to protect yourself in life. Okay? And sidebar here with this responsive versus reactive thing, be willing to be several steps ahead as well. You know, don't just live day to day. It's okay. You know, we have a day-to-day plan as well, but we also have short-term, mid-range, long-term, and then goals and agendas past our earthly time. Think about the next generation, guys. That's how you respond to things. How do you respond to knowing one day that you will leave this earthly body? How are you going to respond to that? Are you just going to react? Oh, today I'm passing away, and but I didn't set up anything. I did not forethought it. I did not prepare this and that. And then we can even take it on a lighter scale or a lower scale. Okay, I know I'm dealing with a narcissist. One day they're going to try to devalue and discard this situation. You're going to be reactive, just wait for them to do it and then just react, or just respond. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect from this right now. I'll do it. I'll do you the favor. Do us both the favor and end this now. You see what I'm saying? There are better ways. You know, taking a response is taking that power, guys. All right. So I do offer one-on-one coaching to help you in life to see angles and make better decisions. I can help you with that, guys. If you're feeling depressed, trying to get over narcissistic abuse, any struggles that you're having, clarities that you need, I do offer that one-on-one, guys. I do this over the phone, voice calls, Skype, FaceTimes, WhatsApp, you know, social media, FaceTimes. I get in where I fit in with that. There's email coaching as well. There's mobile texting support available as well. A limited amount of people can do mobile text, of course. I'm only one person. I can't text a million people at once, but there's still availability for that. Help you with your no contact. Time for me to crack a bottle of water open here. All right, guys, never give up on yourself. In the description, there's lots of things that I do and have available. Feel free to open that and take a look. 500 videos here and playlists even. So, you know, just take what you can on your journey. Share these videos, like these videos, comment. It helps YouTube's algorithm push the content. All right. And, you know, help increase the emotional maturity of the people around you as well. Don't just harbor their information. Tell your children, tell your niece and nephews, your sister, your brother, your best friend, you know, whoever you think would find this useful, guys. All right? Because life is to be lived and lived abundantly. All right? Just take the information. Open your mind and take the information, guys. All right. Continue to do the work. And again, never give up on yourself. Until next time, please take care.